Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. We're in the middle of a self-love challenge, and today is day 14. If you are just joining us, you're right on time to show some self-love. Speaking of which, the image for this video, okay, remember when I was totally going off on myself about my school picture and how I was sure I had a bowling ball face and I had the girls take it more than once and it was still awful and I just had to surrender to how much weight I had put on? Okay, much of that is still true. But when I got that picture back today and I saw that I had cheekbones, I noticed that it wasn't just a fully bloated round nonsense. Yes, I had a blackout and put on way too much weight. I will own that. But it wasn't horrific, okay? As part of our self-love challenge, I thought, you know what? I need to know that I can do better. And in my serenity, I need to accept the things I can't change. I can't change that photo, but I can change my perception of it. I can know that the darkness that I walked through during that time was exactly what I needed to walk through, because I wouldn't be where I am right now. And even though that happened in a very brief period of time, it was a few months of insanity, putting on a ton of weight overnight, and luckily pulling in the reins and turning it around, and now being, 45 days in on clean eating. So I kind of needed that. But yeah, I decided to post that picture because I'm grateful. That's what I decided. I'm grateful that it woke me up. And if the consequence is having that picture on my ID for a year, I'll have to do it. Okay, anyway, so for our self-love challenge, today is day 14. And what it was overcoming a bad habit. Overcoming a bad habit. And I certainly have some that I'd like to overcome, but my first thought was, I don't really even know where to begin. Like, where do I begin? So I found a fantastic article. Of course. It's called How to Change Bad Habits into Good Habits in 5 steps. And it actually comes from research. I like that it's only 5 steps because honestly, I was looking at some other not fantastic articles and they were like 15 and 20 and 50, 100 steps. And I was like, that's a hard no. I need like something totally doable in the moment. All right, so I'm going to read that. Now, heads up for what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is to give yourself a facial. Yeah, I can already tell you that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Oh my gosh. I mean, okay, I'll promise that I'll spend a little bit of time on my face. Like, maybe I'll try and do something. But mostly, you know me. Maybe I put on coconut oil sometimes. Maybe I put on some lip gloss. But yeah, a facial? It is kind of coming along though. I've lost a lot of my dark spots over these last couple of years. I think God is working on this, which is why it's lightening too. And I accept that. So yeah, I can spend a little bit of time on my face. I'll get back to you on it. All right, let's get into this article, my friends. It says we first make our habits and then our habits make us. And as you'll see, it's pretty funny. It's a pencil with chew marks. Because you know how kids bite on their pencils. I'm guilty. I did that before. It didn't become a habit, but I did it before. It says, ironically, this is so important. Take this in. Ironically, studies show saying, I'll never do that again, makes you even more likely to do that again. I'll never do that again makes you more likely to do it again. About 40% of the actions we perform in a day are habits. So we're on automatic pilot half the time. Let's round up the research on bad habits and good habits and learn the best way to turn one into the other. I love it. Number 1 is awareness. The first step is awareness. That cigarette doesn't magically appear in your mouth. Noticing yourself acting habitually is a big first step. And of course, for me, that would be like food, right? How did I suddenly put that in my mouth? So get off of autopilot to make change. It might be too hard to cut back on your habits at first. That's okay. Try reducing the variability in the habit. In other words, don't even try to quit whatever it is. try to do the same. Okay, this is interesting, and I hate that it's talking about cigarettes. Maybe that was your truth at one point, but just for the purpose of the article, I'm going to read it as is. Please replace cigarettes with whatever your challenge is. So it says, try reducing the variability of the habit. In other words, don't even try to quit smoking. Try to smoke the same number of cigarettes each day. That little effort towards self-control led to a decrease in smoking over time. And I think that's a hyperlink. So yeah, sometimes telling yourself you'll never do it again is the worst thing to do. So can you ensure that whatever your commitment is, it's going in the direction that you need it to? So the next one is find your triggers. Not that you're noticing when you do your habits. Focus on what triggers them. Like, what is the stress behind it? The friends behind it. Identifying your triggers is key. Number 3, replace it. You know, it's so true. If you need an oral fixation, something in your mouth all the time, at first it's binge food. Pretty soon it might be gum. And after that, it may be nothing. Or maybe just ice chips or something. I don't know. But you know what? Sometimes you have to replace it, you know? So I kind of understand why they went from smoking to biting on a pencil. I don't know. So it says getting rid of habits is hard. Assigning new habits to establish triggers is far easier. What are you going to do now when that trigger arises? So like for some people who were used to chewing hard candy and they replace it with a celery stick, the ear and the mouth is still getting a crunch sensation, right? So it says establish something new to take place of the old habit. It's the if-then scenario. Scenarios are one of the most powerful tools for resisting triggers. Establish a plan. If I'm tempted to blank, then I will blank instead. Rather than scrambling to resist with willpower, research shows people perform dramatically better when they already have an established if-then process ready. More on if-then. You can click here. You know, I talk about Tanny Raw, and you know, she's a phenom for health on every social media platform. And one of the big things in her reset is if-then scenarios. So if you ever take advantage of that, you will get a great dose of if-then and why it is so effective. So it says use baby steps. Focus on consistency, being consistent above all else, and reward yourself for small wins. Non-caloric, right? Savoring these little achievements day by day is one of the reasons behind the effectiveness of Alcoholics Anonymous. Word? What? I'm a 12-stepper myself. Did I mention that? Yes, Juliana, you did. All right, I think we're going to do that one tomorrow. Seriously, what lessons can we all learn from Alcoholics Anonymous? That is a so yes. Okay, let's keep going. Manipulate your context is number 4. Don't rely on willpower. The importance of self-control is one of the biggest myths about habit change. Instead, manipulate your environment so you don't have to exert your self-control. Throw out the donuts, hide the booze. This has been shown to be surprisingly powerful. Manipulate your environment so as to make what you should do easy and what you shouldn't do hard. If you can make good habits take 20 seconds less time to perform, let's hear that again. If you can make good habits take 20 seconds less time to perform, and bad habits 20 seconds longer, you'll likely see big changes in your behavior. I believe that because goldfish have an attention span of 9 seconds and humans only have 8 seconds. So 20 seconds, that's a lifetime. Okay, reminders to do the right thing, like signs or even text messages, or like our little things that we wrote down, right, that I have around me, can be a big help. And context isn't just an inanimate object. Friends are one of the biggest influences and can be potent tools for change. All right, if you want more on that, click here. And don't give up. Don't give up. Number 5, do not give up. I just hate the way, like, nothing's free, right? There's all these little pop-ups and buy me, do this, do that. And I feel so bossed around, even though I feel super grateful for this article. All right. Don't give up. Changing habits takes an average of 66 days. 66 days. My hair is bugging. It was a rainy day today, and yay for curly girl, but my hair gets a little crazy in the rain. Rain in the high desert, right? We even got snow. Not right where I was, but we could see it everywhere. It was so pretty, like in the basin. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, let's go back. So change can take 66 days. Click on that hyperlink. Establish competency at new skills. Take approximately 8 weeks as well. So hang in there. More tips here. It's a hyperlink. The research says these are some good daily habits, and these are solid weekly habits. Best books on the subject, The Power of Habit and Willpower, 2 different books. I highly recommend them both. Join over 135,000 readers and get free weekly updates here. All right, of course they have to toot their own horn. Okay, let's go back, even though you know I will include this in the description of the video. So number 1 was awareness. Just be aware that you even have a problem. Number 2, find your triggers. What is that making you go? Is it just stress? Is it the people around you? 3, manipulate your context. Make things harder to find. 4, don't give up. Come on, man, don't give up. I missed one. Manipulate, replace, triggers, awareness. Was it replaced? Maybe. All right, sorry about that. Awareness, find your triggers, replace, with the if-then scenario, manipulate, like 20 more seconds for good and 20 more seconds for bad, and don't give up. It takes 66 days. I am all in. I'm so excited about that. All right, my friends, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, know that bad habits can be turned into good. You know, I'm all in with this. I haven't been in my husband's cupboards. Like when I was up to no good, I would shop through his cupboards and I would try and find anything I could justify, even if I thought of it as like vegetarian instead of vegan, like whatever I could do. And I realized I haven't been in his cupboards in 44 days. 44 days? 45 days. 45 days. And tonight I opened his cupboards for something. It was a horror film. It was like, you know, and it was like, oh my gosh, like everything. Oh, I don't even want to say. But this thing was suddenly in my face. That thing was in my face. The marketing was in my face. There's not marketing for fruit and vegetables, right? All the packaging, the brightness, the craziness. And I was just like, I seriously do not belong here. And I closed that cupboard and thanked God for his goodness. Crazy. Oh, it's crazy. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. I'm so grateful. Thank you, and thank you, JBV community, for your support. All right, until we talk again, know that you're blessed.